The Society of Actuaries Research Institute released a new research report focusing on the intersection of our look at diversity, equity, and inclusion, and in combination with our insurance research. And the report's called The Social Determinants of Insurance Demand. The study incorporates a variety of data sets relating to U.S. counties to understand the drivers of life insurance demand, which is really of strong interest to stakeholders such as actuaries or insurance companies, insurance distributors, regulators, or really just our broader consumer society as a whole. So, Peter, why don't you give us some overview of what the research was about?
So, as you know, Dale, our research was about understanding the drivers of life insurance demand. As you know, the drivers of life insurance demand is a very complex phenomenon which can be measured in multiple ways. And understanding it in the context of various potential drivers is of interest, I would say, to insurance industry, to regulators, and society as a whole.
Yeah, and what was the approach you used to analyze all these different factors that were driving demand?
So we performed a spatial analysis using a powerful multi-scaled geographically weighted regression analysis. As response variables, we considered annual total insurance premiums, annual permanent insurance premiums, as well as annual term insurance premiums for a given year to account for the demand in the USA. The covariates considered were broadly classified in two groups. First group related to population composition, while second group related to social capital covariates. The data was kindly provided to us by LIMRA. I would like to emphasize that.
Yeah, very helpful. And I guess taking all that data, what were the main findings that you found?
So our findings show that among those covariates which we found to be statistically significant, not all were relevant on the same scale. For example, some were globally very relevant, meaning entire United States. Some were only regionally very relevant, while others were purely local variant, meaning on a county level. The spatial scale on which covariates were relevant also differed between permanent or term life insurance considered.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to hear. So let's dig into that a little further. I guess, what are some of the examples where drivers maybe had more of a local effect?
So, for example, when it comes to both permanent and term insurance sold, we found out that percentage of owner-occupied households, Gini index, or percentage of single-parent households had only a local effects, meaning on certain counties, on level of certain counties. I would say that when it comes to, let's say, marketing managers of insurance companies, I would say that our research is very practical in the sense that if they consider a specific region or a specific county, they could see which variables, which covariates are uniquely significant for insurance demand in a particular county. And so they can tailor their message according to these findings. If they want to have a broader messaging, let's say on a level of entire USA, then if I were them, I would consider only covariates which are globally relevant to inform their marketing campaigns.
I think that the annual process of trying to figure out, what a insurance company's sales budget and in turn, what its financials are, really important to start with what the demand for life insurance products will be. And we all know that there's probably some very applicable global variables across, the entire United States. Obviously, things like, income levels and things like that, or education levels can be drivers. But there's definitely little niches and pockets of counties around the U.S. where different variables are important. And if you're looking to put together a full-scale plan of where your distribution should focus or where you want to place distribution or agents or where you might set targets for higher sales or for growth opportunities, I think these are the types of variables that can be studied and give you some insights into that exercise. Pretty interesting to hear, really helpful information here to highlight where insurance demand is coming from and what's driving it. So definitely thanks for stopping by to discuss this really important report, taking a look at the drivers of insurance across the United States. And those of you watching, if you have any feedback or questions about this report, please feel free to contact us at research@soa.org. This report on social and other determinants of life insurance demand can be found on the SOA website at soa.org. and then click on the Research Institute and look under our heading for our wide variety of diversity, equity, and inclusion research. Thanks for joining us today to learn a little bit more about the projects from the Society of Actuaries Research Institute.